In this video I'm gonna show you a universal way how to sync your GitHub repositories with their mirrors. This practice is essential to keep your backups always up to date. Coming up. Hey guys, this is Vladimír with JSC Electronics. We work on various embedded projects mostly focusing on Arduinos. Check out our GitHub page, links in the description below this video. Well, maybe you're asking, what are those Git or GitHub mirrors and why do I need them? Let me give you an example. Let's say you are working with a laptop and you are storing all your documents in it. One day you spill a coffee across your keyboard and your machine is completely broken, beyond repair, and your data is just gone. Exactly for this reason, companies like Google invented services like Google Drive, OneDrive or Dropbox. These work behind the scenes to track changes in your folders and to upload changed files to the cloud. So, when something like this happens to you, you can always grab your latest copy from the internet. Git repositories are actually very similar to those folders. They also contain your files, but on top of that, they track changes in those files over time. Those Git repositories are usually hosted on a Git server. A typical example is GitHub, which is free for open source and public projects, but there are other services like Bitbucket or GitLab. Now, let's say you are working on a new project which is sensitive in nature and somebody files a DMCA claim on your repository. Suddenly, you lost access to your files. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. You should always have backups on other services like GitLab or Bitbucket or even your own server. And those backups are called Git Mirrors. I manage a huge amount of repositories on GitHub, and I was searching for a way how to efficiently and effortlessly sync my changes to the backups after every commit is pushed to the server. While I did my research, I found several solutions to this problem. Sadly, none of them works for my needs. Your first obvious solution if you use GitLab Community Edition on your own server is to use their mirroring feature. However, there are some caveats. Most notably, in this free version, GitLab allows you only to push changes to other mirrors, not to pull changes from GitLab into itself. This feature is reserved for the paid customers only. Another solution I found was called gitlab-mirror-pull. What's great about this solution is that it allows you to push changes to your repositories on GitLab through their official API. Sadly, this solution is unmaintained for over 3 years. I was able to find a Docker image, but I wasn't able to bring it up into a working state. So I decided to move on to something else. The third solution I found was called GitLab Mirrors. What's great about this solution is that it can run on your laptop and it supports other versioning systems besides Git. Sadly, this tool is written in Python 2 and it's also unmaintained for over 3 years. After conducting some experiments, I decided also to abandon this solution, and finally I wrote something on my own. Let me just show you. First I'm gonna go into my main Git folder. In this folder I have my repository sorted per customer. In which of these companies there are other repositories. So Comenio is a folder and those are Git repositories from GitHub. So far nothing special. If we go into, let's say, Comenio Cloud, you can see it's a standard Git repository. It has some files, and what's interesting is following. I added more remotes, so if we print them out with git remote/v, you can see that the origin points to GitHub. However, I added one mirror, which is GitLab, and I can easily do something like this. I can fetch changes from GitHub. Git fetch by default fetches from origin. So, as you can see, there is nothing new. I can do git pull, and finally I can do something like this, git push and the name of the remote. So git push GitLab will push the main branch to the GitLab mirror, and that's it. You can add more branches like this. You can have tens, even hundreds of branches, but practically usually you work only with a couple ones like main or dev. That's the main reason why this is still a practical solution for me. And now let's give you another example with more mirrors. Let's go into Richie, for instance. Let's take a look at the Alpha PLC. Git remote shows that we have origin pointing to Bitbucket. This is a first mirror GitLab, which is my own server, and also I am doing backup to another Bitbucket repository somewhere else. If you do that, and if you set up every repository so you have all remotes defined like this, it's very easy to write a script and to automate this. In each main folder I created a script like this. It's called update repo. First let me show you how it runs. And now it's going through every repository defined in this file and doing syncs. Let's take a look at the script itself. First of all, we go into each folder we want to sync, and then we enter the commands I just entered manually. This here is important, so you always use the absolute path to the repository. It's safer that way. You can create scripts like this on each hierarchy. So I have the same script in other folders like Comenio, if you can see update repo here as well. And there is also one main script called update repos. So there is nothing special in here. It's just calling each script in those individual subfolders. I would say my solution is rather universal. You just need your own version of Git and a bash shell, that's it. Also, as I found out, you can easily grab the whole Git folder with all those repositories and transfer them to another computer. After you do that, you can run the same scripts and those would work exactly the same. My solution, however, also has its limits. Let's go through them very briefly. First, there is a very strong need to set everything up manually. Every repository, every branch you want to sync, everything. Also, the scripts are not easily transferable to other repositories. You can copy my scripts, but every script needs to be modified for your needs. Also, the backups are not run automatically. The obvious solution to this is to set up a systemd timer or a regular cron job on your machine. That would solve your problem. This presented solution works very well for my needs and I can live with that for a while. Over time, however, I would need to transition to something else. If I do, I'll definitely shoot a new video about this topic. So guys, let me know in the comments, how do you backup your code? Or do you create backups at all? Also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.